Yeah. Ghost, we make him fly like a ghost. If he want talk on the game, the heater gon' turn into toast. If he pull out on his left on, he was just doing a distance. Promise we ain't gon' miss him. His soul gon' fly when we lift him. Bye, good riddance. Why is this harm her feelings? To the top on a mission. I got a shot, take it with precision. You ain't never if you ain't down to get it. Fuck your vibe if you ain't vibing with us. No, no, no. Bye, bye, bye. Clock him out. He ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. You ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. Headshot, knock him out. Get him, bye, good riddance. Sorry I had to do this. Sorry I'm being a nuisance. I just gotta get it. I'm Mary Jeans on my Louis V for the belt.
Everybody, how are you guys? How is everybody tonight? Let's say hello real quick. Hey, Steven Crisco, how are you, sweetie pie? How you doing? Hi, Celia Wald, my New York sister. How are you? Hi, JJ, my sweetie pie, my manita. How are you? Hey, Reagan, sweetie pie. How you doing? Hey, Miranda, sweetie pie. Hi, Megan Broussard, another sweetie pie. My Vera, hey, sweetie pie. My Shay. Hey, beautiful Shay. No, it's probably me already. Listen, my Wi-Fi. So, how are you guys? I hope you guys are having a good evening. My phone is acting abnormal, so we're gonna see if it could do what it do. I'm gonna drop the link. Hi, everybody. This is an open panel. I'm trying to have Stormy not disconnect my laptop, so we will see. Sorry, what the hell? My camera's like aiming on my boobs. That was a little weird, but we'll go ahead and ignore that. Hey, Peace and Cues, how are you, sweetie pie? Hey, Vicky, how are you, sweetie pie? Good to see you. Hey, Pamela Barr, good to see you again, sweetie pie. So, hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope you are all having a great Wednesday. Am I too washed out? I feel like I'm kind of washed out. That's okay. That's much better. Sorry, I was like too bright for me, man. Breezy girl, my beautiful breezy girl. Hey, sweetie pie. Bliss Chris. Hey, sweetie pie. I know. I didn't realize my camera was like way down here. Like, okay, girl. Doing too much, girl. It's always, it's disrespectful. That's why we have a disrespectful Wi-Fi emoji, girl. It's being disrespectful. My disrespectful Wi-Fi followed me from Brooklyn. Gave no fucks. I was like, girl, I'm coming with you. So, Bliss Chris, I'm gonna be dropping your channel. She has been posting some Jen Bailey funuckery that she's been doing over on IG. Yeah, Breezy Girl's been on it. So let me see. Okay, I got her channel right here. Let me drop it. And mods, if you guys have channels, please drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Please, because y'all know. Mama T, hey, sweetie. So there goes Breezy Girl's channel. Hey, Welsh Rose. Welsh was just live. So it was a great live. Okay, Stormy. Okay, look, she's like, boy, this is about me. What do you think? This is not your show, Selfie. This is my show, right? Stormy, is your show? Okay, I got it. I understand. You see the way she looks at me? She like, you know who the star of this house is. It's you, mama. It's you. You're right. You saw with her paw? She loves doing that shit to me. You're right, mama. You the star. I'm just the understudy. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Stormy, my Stormy. Tonight is gonna be an open panel. Hey, Wanda Steves, how are you, sweetie pie? It's gonna be an open panel. I'm hoping Bliss can join us. I'm hoping Babs Bunny can join us. It is open for 96% of YouTube. Actually, I got a short video on my channel of a robot. Oh, so Bliss Chris did post some content. Okay, so we got to drop Bliss Chris's channel too. That is awesome. Stormy, okay, okay, but you're ODing with your nails. I love you, mama. She just dug her nails. Look, you see her with her paw? If I don't pay attention to her, my son is in the bathroom. I need him to come because she's not gonna let me do Storm. Okay, okay. I love you. I love you, girl. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna stop the show. I'm just gonna pay attention to you. Okay. Okay. Okay, mama. Girl, look at her. She's so cute. Okay. Okay, mama. Yes, it's about you. It's about you, mama. Okay. Yes. Yo, watch what she's gonna do. So you saw with the paw? Okay. Okay, mama. Watch, guys, one more time. Let's see if she does it one more time. Okay, Stormy. All right. So yeah, guys. She's not gonna do it now because she heard me. She's smart as hell. She heard me say her name, but every time I would do that, I would start talking, she would drop her paw on me again. She's so smart. She's so smart. Sorry, let me fix my camera. She's so smart. She was like, "No, bitch, no, it's about me." But her paws, man, damn it. She got some damn nails. Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, we got to drop the channels. We got to drop she's not. Thank you. She is not. Yo, she is not having it. Because her daddy, right? Like, because, my eldest son, this is his dog. It's all of our dogs, but it's his dog. And he went out. So usually she's with me and she goes back and forth. Like, it's funny. He'll come out of his room and she's like, who do I go with, her or him? So when he's not here, she's with me. So she's like, and my other son is in the bathroom. So she's like, no, girl. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Hi, Instinct Karma. Welcome. So nice to have you here. So yes, Stormy is our mascot. This is the channel mascot. That's why we have a Stormy emoji for our Stormy. But I thought we would just have an open panel. I wanted to do it Sunday, and then we just got caught up with makeup and talking crap, and then it just didn't feel right to then have such a serious discussion after we were talking about makeup and just talking regular stuff. So I want to open the panel, and you don't have to talk about it. It can be any experience you want to talk about, anything you want to talk about. As I said, well, let me repeat it because people may not have been here. I'm gonna reread Stephen Crisco's comment that she made to me, and then I will drop the link. I think it was on this video. She made the comment. Sorry, guys. Let me just look for it. And it wasn't on this one, of course. Sorry, guys. You already know. You already know how I do. Where was it? Oh, okay. Maybe it was on my community tab. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Just give me one segundo. I found it last time really quickly, and now, of course, because I need it, and I should have just screenshot it. You already know how that goes. I think it's here. Yes. Okay. Found it. Sorry, it just took me 4 months. So she said, hey, Dina, and thank you for becoming a member. And listen, Dina created a channel now because I said in members only. Dina's no longer on YouTube because, mother effers will be like, Selfie lied, 21 screenshots on Twitter. She created this channel, or she came back. Ooh, Mufasa. So thank you, Dina. Love you, girl. Mwah. So, okay. Anyway, this was the comment that Steven left. Hey, Selfie, can we have a discussion about where the line is? Oh, God, now I have Stormy here. Yay, that's always so fun. Okay. Can we have a discussion about where the line is between my story / the addict's story? There's trauma on both sides. It's not good to tell other people's stories. Where does one end and the other begin? ? I would be interested in a this sorry. I would be interested in a discussion about the topic. I want to respect the other while being able to discuss how I was affected, as well as how other people were affected. I'm not sure what the rules are. She put a bunch of emojis like wondering, thinking, and like shrugging. I thought you might have some insight. Thanks. So, as I said before, it's hey Teresa. I'm sorry, just want to make sure I say hi to everybody. Hey Teresa, my girl. And again, welcome Instant Karma. It's very, very nice to have you here. And so I thought it was a great discussion because, as you guys know, I talk about addiction a lot. I talk about my recovery a lot. Wanda Steves, I said hi to you, right, Mama? My sweetie pie. Hey, baby girl. And addiction doesn't only affect the person that is an addict, it affects everyone that they come into contact with, their immediate family, their extended family, their friends, everyone. Yeah, it's almost the safest place. Listen, you'll get dragged everywhere else for being here, but you won't get dragged here because there's zero tolerance for the BS here. So it's a safe place here. Just I can't. Everywhere else is on site, but here you're safe because I have amazing friends and mods that we don't do that here. It's a safe place, guys. You can give your opinion. You don't even have to agree with me. That's not a thing. But we're not gonna let people disrespect any of my members, my mods, my subscribers, any of the people in my chat. So they could keep that shit on the Twitters, because I'm not on the Twitters. Hallelujah. I'm not on the Twitters. So they could keep that BS over there. Yeah, she's not doing videos. She created this, I guess, just to come into chats. And she's always welcome here. She is my friend. She's our friend. She's always welcome here. So we ain't doing that here. Anyway, okay. Because here we don't gatekeep. We don't tell people whose chats they can go in. We don't I spy with my little eye where you were last night, where you going after here, who you talk to on Twitter, who you talk to on IG. We don't do that. We don't care, right? So, okay. So let me drop the link. Now, anybody that clicks the link, you just have to show me who you are behind, because mother effers ain't well. So that is the only rule, but I'm not taking screenshots. I promise my phone is down here. I'm not going to screenshot your face and plaster it everywhere because ain't nobody got time for that. But so anybody who wants to come up, I wanted to show you guys something because remember I always talk about Robert Welsh. I've been talking about Robert Welsh since forever. Love him. Love his brother James Welsh as well. They even have another brother that they did makeup on. I think that helps them with edit and producing and all this other stuff. I just love them so much. Oh, wow. The town had to snake out your sewer lines. Yay. That must be so fun for you, Vera. Yay. Okay, cool. She can take her time. Oops. What did I do? Okay, sorry. So I always tell you I love Robert Welsh, and so I made this little thing. I'm learning. I got another one of Dustin and Nick Snyder that I'm going to upload here and put here too, because I wish I would have done it for tonight because it's perfect. It's perfect because Dustin Daly had some woman, I think on Twitter, of course, on Twitter, telling him, you need to speak up about this. And he said, no, nobody's going to tell me what I need to speak up about or what I have to talk about on my channel, what I'm not allowed to say on my channel, what I have to say on my channel. And I was like, I was doing the the seal I talk about. Yeah, I became a seal today. Get it. So I will be having that on.
No, I don't. Creativity and
like segue into it. Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna play that. But this is Robert Welsh, and this is what I always say. I always quote what he says. And this was funny because he was watching like TikToks and roasting in the way that he does. And this is what he said, and I had to like clip it. So listen to this.
Makeup? No, I don't. Creativity and individuality have no rules. But makeup has a theory.
Right? Makeup has no rules. Nobody could tell you what color you can wear. Hi. Hey, Steve. Haven't seen you in a long time. How are you, sweetie? Oh, yes. Give her a big hug for us. We love our Kino. We love her so much. I do. I love her so much. Hey, allegedly. Still at work at a Zoom meeting. Can't chat. Love you, mama. Love you. Thank you. Hey, Miss Cassandra. How are you, my naughty girl? Okay. So, Carmencita. Hey, Carmencita. Hi, mama. I tried to call you today, Carmen. I was having like a emergency, but it's okay now. I'm gonna hit you up on IG afterwards because I'm not sure if I have the right number, Carmencita. So after this, I have to hit you up on IG because I was kind of going through a crisis today and I was trying to reach you and I couldn't, and I was worried. Hey, Alice, how are you, sweet? Spackle is running your stream on her YouTube. Why? I'm not talking about her or anybody. She could do whatever she'd like, I guess. That's fine. I don't know why she would do that. Well, because of the people in my chat? That's fine. Hi, Christina Verney. How are you, sweetie pie? I don't know why she would do that because I'm not talking about any of the drama. I'm actually going to be having an open panel to talk about addiction and people's experiences. So that's fine. She can do that all she wants. So that is fine. Yeah. I hope that she's it's delayed. At least delayed a few seconds. You know? Yeah, it's fine. I haven't done anything to her. I don't even really know her. But it's okay. If we get more views on addiction and recovery, then that is fine because this is not going to be a drag stream. This isn't. So have at it. Have fun. Okay. Yes, it's just crazy. But it's okay. I don't know what anybody thinks. Nobody's going to dictate what I do on my channel. I'm sorry, they're not. They're really not. Hey, BB loves honey tea. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to stream somebody streaming on YouTube. You're not supposed to do that. But so we'll see how I feel. I know I'm not, Pam. I'm not. It's fine. As I said, I'm going to talk about addiction and recovery. So the more eyes we have and the more people get educated about it, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Have a great evening. Have a great evening. So, yeah, so there, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people. It's not just the person in active addiction or even in recovery that has been affected by addiction. Children are affected, parents are affected, siblings are affected, spouses, cousins, uncles, friends, right? I know many people that have been friends. Oh yeah, you hit her with a wrench today. Yeah, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I've never really had a bad interaction with her, so I don't know. But you don't have to, I guess, now on YouTube or on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, so it doesn't bother me what anybody says about me on Twitter. I don't see it. And that's why I told Welsh the other day, don't watch negative videos about yourself. Don't watch negative videos about anybody you care about, because to me, ignorance is bliss. If I don't know about it, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. What people's opinions of me, none of my business. Just don't bring it to my channel. You know what I mean? Because you will get hit with a wrench. So that is that. That is that. Yeah. What the hell? Remember how in those cartoons they would get hit with an anvil and they would get those immediate speed knots, like whoosh, and they would try to push it down and it would just show up on the other side. I used to love those cartoons. Hey, Roadhog, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, where's Adam Harris? Hey, Adam Harris, how are you, sweetie? I hope you're well tonight. I hope you guys are well tonight. So, yeah, it's always a pleasure to have him. Wile E. Coyote, yes, and the Roadrunner. I used to love it with the speed knots. Who else used to get those speed knots? Tom and Jerry, I think Tom used to get the speed knot, and there was another cartoon. I don't remember. I used to love those old cartoons, and now I look back and a lot of them, it was inappropriate for kids. Like you think back, it was so violent, right? And then you wonder why little kids will get mad at their sibling and hit them over the head with a toy. It's because in the cartoons, that's what they're seeing. They're hitting each other over the head with hammers and shit. Then you wonder why your kid is hitting your other kid. That's what they're seeing in the damn cartoons. The hell, crazy. But yeah. So I'm just waiting for anybody to come up that wants to come up. No, lying, not anybody. 96% of YouTube, sorry. Because if I say I'm waiting for anybody to come up, then I'm a liar. And that'll be clipped and put on Twitter. 96% of YouTube is welcome. So everybody else, you're not welcome. You are not welcome here. You are not welcome here. No. So, no, you're not. Goodbye. Okay. Anyway, let me stop. Sorry. So, no, Alice, sometimes, I don't know. YouTube has been glitching. Jenny Lee can't see JJ sometimes. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, I don't know if that's just YouTube. I'm telling you. And nobody's supposed to interact with Roadhog at all. Listen, this is my channel. This is my channel again. People don't have to like it. I respect that. But no, this channel says Selfie Queen Cindy. So as long as it does, yeah, my rules, my channel. And it's so easy, right? Unsubscribe. Don't recommend this shitty channel. Selfies, the worst of the worst of the worst. Sir, I don't want to see the bitch. Don't recommend her. It's like magic. You don't have to see me anymore. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. That's crazy. I unblocked Alice, made her a mod, etc. on my old channel and still couldn't see her. I know. I think it's been glitching out a lot. I hope they screenshot that Alice and I spoke to each other. Listen, it's the gatekeeping has to stop. You don't have to like people. You don't, right? You have your personal interactions with people. Certain people are a no-go for you. I respect that because there's a no-go list for me. Hello, 4% of YouTube is a no-go list for me. So I respect that. People can have their boundaries. It's like, no, I don't mess with them. But it's when you're not only giving your opinion, you're trying to actively force people into following what you say. I think that is the difference. You can't force people to fall in line. It doesn't work very well. It works for a while because intimidation tends to work on YouTube. But after a while, it gets tiring. People get tired of being told what they can do, what they can't do, what they can say, because then they become leery. And anytime they want to go into any chat, now they're a little scared. After a while, that wears off. The intimidation wears off. Respect will always last longer than intimidation or fear, in my opinion. So that is how I feel about that. You don't like somebody, don't watch them. That's how I feel, but I guess not everybody feels that way. They don't like you, but they have to watch you. And that's the thing. I don't watch people that I don't like. That's a fact. I'm not subscribed to their channels. Not at all. Because for me, if I'm subscribed to you, I'm giving you a sub. That is a form of support, in my opinion. Right? Like, even if you say, if you use the rationale, well, I want to make sure they're not talking about me, then click on their channel every once in a while. If that's your thing, that's not my thing. But if that's your thing, you want to make sure nobody's talking about you, click on their channel every once in a while, look through it. But if you're subbing, that is still a form of support, because they're still getting, their numbers are growing, it's engagement, it's all of those things. So it's a form of support, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I'm not giving anybody I don't like that form of support. I'm not giving them a click and a view. I'm not giving them a sub. Then again, that's just me. Are you okay, Instant Karma? I hope you're okay. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, it's actually really easy to ignore people. I just use IG, and I still have people who hate me watching my IG stories, whatever. It's fine. They can watch. They can watch all they want. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, though, because it's aggravating, and I don't want to aggravate myself or upset myself and all of that. Someone bullying got my wrench taken. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. I know when the troll talks about me because my DMs. Yeah, that's what usually happens, right? You get the DMs from people. Hey, Black Cat Music, how are you, sweetie? So good to see you. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thank you for dropping by, sweetie. Thank you so much. Usually that's what happens. You know what I mean? You get the DMs, or you get people checking in on you to make sure you're okay. They don't like that they are now. I don't like that. I know. I don't think that Welsh has done anything. But then again, who am I, right? But I just don't think that Welsh has done anything. She gives her opinion. She's not even nasty. She's not calling people names, all kinds of bitches like I do sometimes. I call people all kinds of bitches sometimes. I'm trying to chill with that. You know, I said before the new year that I was really trying to steer away from it, and I am. Sometimes I can't help myself. I'm going to be a little shady, but I am trying to steer away from it. You know, I was listening to a song today, and it's time to let it go. You know, and I'm trying. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm going to fall, and sometimes I'm going to be wolf on the roof. Okay, he's on the roof. Hey, my wolf, how are you, sweetie pie? Yeah, they are. I guess I'm not on Twitter, so I don't see it. But yeah, things have been said about Welsh. They don't like that she's talking to Alice, I guess. Because the thing is now, you know, you have to exile anybody they don't like. And I've known Alice a long time on Twitter, a long time. And, you know, you disagree with people, right? You have disagreements sometimes. You're not going to agree with everything everybody says. Like, that's just a fact of life. Like, a fact of life. You're not going to agree with people, even your closest friends. You're not going to agree all the time. And I think that hi, Fire and Nice, my sweet friend. How are you? But I think it's about if you can handle it in private. You know what I mean? Like sorry, I hit my mic. You probably heard that. Sorry, guys. Any of my close friends, if we disagree, we talk about it in private. We address it in private, and we defend in public. Right? So I'm always going to have my friends' backs publicly. Like, I'm never going to bash them publicly, and we address it privately. That's just how I've always handled it. And I try to handle it like that. Even if I fall out with people, I try not to come and talk about it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't do that after videos are made about you, things are said about you, and you get tired, you know. But I think that that's the difference. You don't have to address everything publicly. Some people are like, oh, you never spoke about this. Nobody can tell you your experience or what's your perspective or your point of view has to be depending on your life experience. So nobody knows what you've gone through, what you've dealt with. And I don't think it's fair to tell people how they have to respond on their channel. If you feel that, it's so important to you, then you create a channel and you address it how you want to address it, how you think things should be addressed, and you do that. But it's escalated to the point where people are trying to force their views, their opinions, their disdain for people on other people. And again, it works for a minute. It works for a minute. Some people have gotten away with it for a long minute, but eventually it gets tiring. It gets tiring. Hey, Stephen.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful.
I'm a little freaked out to be talking over the YouTube thing.
I'm
But-
so glad you're here. Hi, sweetie.
But part of my resistance to call in is because I have so many loved ones that are addicts. And
Right.
I don't want to tell their story because that's not right. But I
Right.
have been very traumatized and affected by the things I've seen in the last 10 years. Like
And
my
but
big
Stephen-
addiction is cigarettes, which I
Right.
finally kicked. And
you
so
did, right? That's awesome.
so it's been difficult to even understand the whole addiction thing to begin with.
Right.
So then where is the privacy line when talking about the stories I've been affected by that are my loved ones? So I wouldn't want to out them.
Right. And I think it's all in the way that you choose to speak about it. I think that that's, in my opinion. And again, sorry, excuse me. And again, it's just my opinion, right? But I think if you do it with respect and you still give them the anonymity, like we don't say names, you know what I mean? But
Right.
you are entitled to speak of your experience, especially if it's affected you. You have that right to speak on it. I'm very careful when I talk about my husband's experience because it is his story, but it still affected me in a very real way. And I've always tried to respect him no matter what he's going through. I've never come here and bashed him, put him down, because first of all, I know what it is to be an addict, and
Right.
to me that was important. But you have the right to speak about it, and that's just, again, my opinion. Other people may feel other ways. Again, I think it's in the delivery, it's in the way you speak about it, that makes the difference. You know what I mean?
Yes. And like one of my addict loved ones has said that they are getting out of it because they're very tired of bringing other people back from
Yeah.
overdosing and stuff. Oh, trigger
Oh my
alert.
gosh.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I get it. Trigger warning, guys. We're talking about addiction and everything that comes with addiction. So just, okay. Yeah, that is traumatizing in itself to experience that and see that. And, I've shared about a colleague that passed away. May he rest in peace. Excuse me. And when he was in his active addiction, he had OD'd and they thought he had passed away. He was in what they would call a shooting gallery. And they threw him out the window.
Oh,
You know
my.
what I mean? And thank God that there was it was in New York where the garbage was 2 stories high. It was to the back of the building.
Thank
And he
goodness.
landed on the garbage. Yeah. And he was there for 2 days. And trigger warning, guys, but the rats had gotten to his fingertips. I'm glad they didn't get to his eyes or his tongue. When he woke up, all of his fingertips were gone, but thank God he lived. So it's traumatizing, and that whole lifestyle of being an addiction and all of that, it's dark. It's
Demonic.
unhappy. Even if you start as a functioning, even if you start as a recreational user, let's say you start at parties or going to clubs and somebody
Yes.
gives you some drugs recreationally, after a while, once you become addicted to it, all of that glitz and glamour or whatever, that euphoric feeling that you felt at first that brought you into loving it is gone, because then it just becomes chasing it, chasing it, getting the money, doing it, getting the money, doing it. it becomes very, very miserable, very, very sad, and very, very, it's a lonely life. And it's harder, I think, for people watching it, not in it, because when you're in active addiction, you don't have time to think about anybody else. You really don't. And it's as messed up as that sounds, that's the truth. You're so busy. You're, first of all, you're not in your right frame of mind. You're not thinking, and you're using. So you can't think of anyone else. You're not thinking of anyone else. So everyone around you is lucid, and they see what you look like. They see what you're going through and what they're going through. If you're stealing from them, if you're always calling them for money, if they have to worry about you disappearing and not knowing where you are, it's the people around the addict that suffer.
Well, and the addict always thinks that nobody else knows. They think they're hiding, and
Yes.
everybody knows.
Yes, you're right. You're not fooling anybody but yourself, sadly.
So, yes.
You're right. You know, and there's some family members that are in denial as well. That does happen. There are family members or friends that become enablers because it's easier for them to process or not to process it by remaining in denial about it. Like, no, that's not a thing. They're fine. They, you know, they're not that bad. And either they don't see the warning signs or they ignore the warning signs because it's too much for them to handle. And that becomes a scary place as well. You know what I mean? It's just sad and makes me sad. And I remember, you know, I wasted 3 years, 4 years in my active addiction, and I hurt my family, my loved ones so much, you know, and it took me a long time to regain their trust and to learn to be a different person. And some days a lot of days, I still have so much guilt for things that I did 22 years ago. I don't know if that'll ever go away. You know, it is a very
I'm sure your family has long ago forgiven you for what went on 22 years ago, even your children. They know it helped to make you who you are today.
Yeah. I think that, excuse me, I'm harder on myself than anybody else can be on me. You know what I mean? I think that I am way harder on myself than anyone else could be, because it's harder for me to forgive myself for what I did than for them to forgive me. Like, my sons are amazing. My family, my parents, my dad and my stepmom are amazing. You know what I mean? They don't hold any of that against me, but it's hard for me because I still have very vivid memories of things that I've done that I regret, that I've apologized, made amends for as best I could, but it's still very hard, you know? And I think that the best thing you can do is you can't try to convince somebody with your words. You have to allow your actions to show. Because even when I wasn't in recovery and I was trying to make my family think I was, they knew better. They knew better. And they were like, yeah, okay, Cindy. Okay. And it wasn't until I really got clean and began recovery, making groups and making meetings, that I realized it's not about lip service. It's about them seeing the change, seeing my behaviors change, see me go to work, see me do all these things, that they will know that I'm a different person. I could tell them every day, I'm clean today, look at me, yeah, you know. And then I go and I'm copping in a corner, I'm being shady, I'm in the bathroom 5 times, in and out, in and out. My actions don't align with my words. And that was what I tried to do for a long time, until I realized it's not about what I say, it's about what I do. You know?
Exactly. And it's hard to let go of the trauma, even after a period of time. Like, it's been 5 years since the stroke and the aneurysm, and I'm still freaked out about it.
Yeah.
But the person who had the stroke and the aneurysm seems to be trucking right along. She used the Vivitrol and never looked back.
Right.
5 years now she's been clean.
God bless her. And it still haunts you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you see? And
I caught myself speaking on the subject in front of someone who I probably shouldn't have been speaking in front of.
Right.
because
I get it.
yeah, the man now has a new partner, and so I
Mhm.
probably shouldn't have mentioned anything in front of the new girl about the old girl.
Right. I get it. But it happens sometimes. You can't beat yourself up about that too, because you're still traumatized by that. And so the best thing sometimes is to talk about it, because the more you hold it in, you don't heal from it. You can't work on overcoming the trauma if it's still buried within you. You know what I mean? So I think it's important that you have an outlet to share. And I think that's why those support groups for family members, friends, Al Anon, and all these other groups and support groups are so important. You know, the addict, the recovering addict needs support, but so does the family's members, so does the friends, everybody. I think that that is forgotten a lot of times, that anybody affected needs the support too. They've been traumatized, they've seen the trauma, dealt with it, experienced it, and a
And the
lot of the
children.
focus is on the addict. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't even think about the children that
the
have been
children.
through this, and they've not had any therapy to handle it, and they're probably struggling like I'm struggling.
Yes, yes, I agree. Children, whew, children, that's a big thing. I
Yeah,
was
little.
a child of an addict, and it affected us, me and my brothers. It shaped our whole lives. I didn't even realize how much it had affected me until I was in my 20s and became susceptible to addiction myself because of the trauma I had dealt with in my childhood. No, I didn't deal with it. The trauma I had undergone or, suffered and hadn't dealt with, and it crept up on me in my 20s and it just overwhelmed me. And then I guess having my mother reemerge into my life again in my 20s just brought it all to the surface, and I didn't even realize it. And it wasn't even until, I guess, a few weeks ago when I was speaking to my stepmother, that we were talking, when we did the interview, when we were talking, and she was like, Cindy, I don't even think that you realized that you hadn't seen your biological, your mom for so long, and or in your early 20s, she came back into your life. And I think that all these feelings came up that you didn't know how to deal with. And that is very true. And I didn't even realize that. And I think that that's what led me to drugs, because until that point, I had never used drugs in my life, not even as a teenager. I never experimented with drugs. It wasn't until I was like 21. From 21 to 24, I was an addict. And
Oh,
and it was hard, but it's hard for everybody involved. And Megan, congratulations. I think that's a beautiful thing. And Dean, I agree. I hate the word junkie. And I think that people do it on social media because they know it is triggering. They know that it's upsetting, and they're going to say anything that they think will upset you. They're going to, aim for your soft spot. And it doesn't bother me when somebody talks about me that way, because I know my recovery is strong. It just bothers me for other people that may have children, parents, sisters, brothers, etc., that maybe have been addicts, are addicts, may have lost loved ones to addiction, and those words sting them. And people don't realize they're sitting in your audience, they're sitting in your chat, and they're affected by your words. So that's why it bothers me.
right. When somebody earlier said something about people triggering others by using the J word, like
Yes,
that's such
yes,
a horrible word, and it is so
it
offensive to
really
me
is.
because I have so many loved ones that are addicts that,
Yes.
yeah, nobody is garbage to be thrown away or anything, and that's a horrible word.
I agree. I think it is too. And some people, their vocabulary is different. And there are different genres of YouTube, and people use different wording. And I'm not trying to excuse using that wording. I just can't dictate what other people say, how they refer to people. I just know I could never say that about somebody who's battled addiction, overcome addiction, even if they're still suffering with addiction. I just couldn't, because that's not a way to help somebody. I know sometimes tough love helps, but the belittling of somebody, putting them down, making them feel like they can never be better, doesn't help. That doesn't help, you know?
Trash talking hasn't helped any of the addicts that I know. None of them.
No, it hasn't helped
Hasn't
either.
helped.
Yeah, it does definitely hasn't helped in my experience either. My grandmother was an alcoholic. My mom was, 3 brothers, husband, father, abusive. Wow. And that's the thing, like, also when you have addiction in your family, there is a predisposition for addiction for others. Now if you have 2 parents that have battled addiction in some way, the likelihood of one of the children becoming an addict is super high. And I think that's why it's important for education. If you've ever dealt with, like me, I've dealt with addiction, so is my husband. My children are predisposed, and their grandmother was an addict. So it's very important that we monitor them, that we make sure they know go to therapy, that we talk to them about drugs, we talk to them about coping, all of these things. And you still can't gauge what your children may stumble upon or may become. And it bothers me sometimes when parents get blamed when their kids become addicts and all of this stuff, because as parents, you wish the best for your kids. The majority of parents, I know some people have abusive parents, have had parents that didn't give a crap about them. I'm not talking about those parents. I'm talking about the parents that tried their best and their kids still became addicts. I can't imagine that pain. I can imagine the pain I've put my parents through. So I would never blame somebody's parent. I would never blame my parents for my addiction. Not even my mother, who was an addict. I don't blame her. I didn't deal with what I needed to deal with, but I don't ever blame her. Yeah, I am too. I just think it's all gotten really dark. It's all gotten to be too much on social media, with the addict shaming, with the bashing, with all of that. And some people don't care. They That's going to be their go-to because they know that it bothers you. And I think that's why it's important for us as addicts, recovering addicts, to really, really just keep focusing on the internal work that you have to do. And it's easier said than done. It hurts. Words hurt. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Words hurt like a mother effer. So it's easy for people to say, don't let words hurt you. It hurts, especially when you've dealt with so much and gone through so much in addiction, and you've worked so hard to change your life, and people still want to just put you in a box and say that you're this thing, you're just this. Like Steven said, nobody should be thrown away, and that's how they make you feel, like you're trash because you had an addiction. And I'm here to just say, just keep working on yourself. Just keep reminding yourself that you're a miracle to be here. Because everybody that's ever been in addiction, it could have taken one time to end your whole life. So it's a miracle that you're still here, and you're here for a reason. That's what I believe. I choose to believe that anybody who's overcome it and you're still here, you're here for a reason.
Well, in America loves a comeback story. I can't speak for other countries, but I know in America, we love a good comeback story. And people should embrace the fact that they have a comeback story and that they're not trapped in what they used to be. We all used to be things we didn't want to be.
True. You're right. You're right. And Bliss Chris, are you okay? Oh my God, she almost just had a car accident. She said, wow, yeah, I just missed being in a car accident by maybe 3 seconds. Sorry, I had to stop and make sure everyone was okay. Everyone's kind of okay, but it was bad. Need a cigarette, then I'll come up. Bliss, take your time. Oh my God. Adrenaline is pumping hard. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. I remember a few months ago, I was in the car with my son, and this car just ran right in front of us and ran all across all the lanes. And had my son not been paying attention, we would have hit that car. That's terrifying. And that's why when you're driving, you have to not only pay attention to your driving, you have to pay attention to everybody else, because it might take a split second for you to stop or swerve or move. It's scary, So I'm glad that you're okay, Bliss. Oh my gosh. I haven't relapsed. They used it as a weapon. I'm just fucking crazy. Two different things. I agree. I agree. Sometimes we think it looks like drugs. It's just being right. It's being fucking crazy. Don't get it twisted, for real. I get
Being
that.
weird and crazy is a good thing. Being on
Yeah.
drugs is a bad thing, but weird is
Yes.
good.
Yes. I think weird and different is very good. Hey, ambulance girl, how are you, sweetie? It's so good to see you too, mama.
Well,
I think it's great. I like to be different, you know?
I'm gonna drop down and let somebody else have a chance to come
Love
up.
you, Stephen. Thank you so much for coming up.
And
And
thank
thank
you
you for that
everyone
comment.
for listening to me talk.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime you want to talk. Not only you don't have to come on panel, you can always talk to me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Bye, mama. And my husband does not drink. His father was a terrible alcoholic and he had to get me through it so he doesn't drink. And it's sad that you even have to put that out there, you know? That's right. And you're still standing, Instant Carmen. That's a beautiful thing. We sometimes we don't realize the experiences of others. And I've been guilty. I've been guilty of saying some stuff out of my mouth too, you know, that I wish I hadn't said. If I could go back in time, I would have changed a lot of things I guess I had done on social media. I would have stayed out of a lot of things when I had the opportunity to. I wouldn't have chosen a side in things. I would have just stayed neutral. I know some people that are brilliant at staying neutral, and I think that I would have done that a lot more. Just stayed neutral, stayed out of it. But you can't go back in time. You can only work on today. I can't work on yesterday. I can only work on today, right? And that's what I'm working on, the present, and trying to stay focused for tomorrow. You know, keeping good on my word and trying not to fight. Sometimes I'm gonna come and say some stuff, you know. I feel like I have learned a lot from you guys, especially when I have worked with two people who were addicts. It was hard with one of them, not knowing how they were going to be each day. I was beaten down. I was beaten down by her every other day I worked with her. Wow, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm still standing, right? I was thinking of that song too. It sings, I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't think of, I could see him. How can I not? That was his name. I know. It's going to drive me crazy. I know who he is. I could see his face. He has glasses and stuff. John, no. Elton John? Elton John, is it? I think it's Elton John. I wouldn't intentionally addict shame anyone, but I've inadvertently stuck my foot in my mouth. Context is it. I get it, ambulance girl. We've done it. Like I used to say, you know, when I was really, really thin, I used to say, yeah, I was crackhead skinny. And I didn't mean, you know, I'm a recovering addict and I didn't mean to be offensive, but I was, you know what I mean? And just because I'm a recovering addict doesn't give me like the right to just be like, yeah, crackhead, you look like a crackhead. Because people that have smoked crack cocaine, of course, that would be hurtful to them. You know what I mean? And just because that wasn't my drug of choice doesn't make it any different. You know what I mean? So I get it. Sometimes we put up, oh my God, I put my foot in my mouth every day, girl. Every day. You know, see, I'm canceled. I'm canceled every day. Hey, Daisy Cobb, how are you, beautiful girl? I got blamed for them being addicts. That's not, no. Nobody else can get the blame for somebody else's addiction. I believe that. Again, I'm a recovering addict. And I would never and could never blame somebody else for my addiction. I made my choices. I had trauma. I had obstacles. But at the end of the day, I still made the choice. So, and even what I knew, right? Having gone through what I went through, having witnessed what I witnessed with my mom, all the stuff I saw and went through, and it's still, and I remember being a teenager saying I would never, ever experiment with drugs. And that's why when I became an addict, a few of my brothers were really upset at me. A couple of my brothers didn't talk to me for a while because they couldn't understand. Like, Cindy, why would you do this? And it was hard for them, knowing what we went through with my mom and that I fell into addiction. They couldn't reconcile it in their brain. And it took them a long time. And now we're great. But it was hard. And it's hard for family. And I always said I would never mess with drugs. I saw what drugs did to my mom. I saw what it did to my family. And I still fell into it because I wanted to numb. Like it hit me, all these emotions at one time, like a ton of bricks, and I couldn't deal with it. And so I wanted an easy way out. I wanted not to feel anything. And I just happened to be going to clubs and, everything just was like right there, easy access. Like, yeah, do this, try this. Like, yeah. And it was a wrap for me because, again, I could never just be recreational. I know people that are able to try drugs once every year or once every 3 months, and they use it for, they go to a party, they use it, they put it down, don't think about it, go to work, all of that. I don't have that ability. And once I did it, it was like this light just went off, like I was predisposed to becoming an addict. And so I have an addictive personality. And so that is a very real thing, Sorry, guys, if I've missed a lot of your comments. It really is ridiculous. I swear they will make up anything. Hope the girls are doing well. I know, I could imagine they must love, right? All the land and the new house that Dina has. I love those barn doors. I see a lot of people installing those barn doors like on their bathrooms, in their bedrooms. Like, I really like those barn doors. I think that they're really, really nice. I think they're really nice. Really cool. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss it at the comments, which I did. I know I did. And I'm always back here. It's better to be slow, safe, and careful driving. I agree. Because when you rush, right, if you're in a hurry and you get into an accident, you're still not going to get to your place that you were trying to get to on time. Now you're going to be even later and possibly hurt yourself, hurt somebody in your car, somebody else in another car gets hurt. So I always think, no matter, please don't rush. If you're running late, call wherever you have to call, even if it's work. Don't rush when you're driving, because God forbid you get it. Even in the smallest accident, now you have to stop. You have to wait for the police to come. You have to wait for all these things. You're not going to make it to your destination on time anyway. It's always better to just take your time and be safe, in my opinion, and wear your seatbelt. Everybody wear their damn seatbelt. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Billy Joel? Is it Billy? Oh, it's Billy Joel. Okay. Billy Joel, thank you for that. Thank you. I hate when that happens. Because I'm like singing and I'm like, I could see him. And I can Billy Joel, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, what the hell? I can't remember. Damn it. Shit. With her, I almost lost my job because of her. I would have anxiety attacks when she was. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Reagan. That's horrible. Oh, yes, sure. Sorry, damn Bliss, Chris. I'm all the way back there. Damn it. Sorry. They're like, drop the link. Sorry. Sorry. Oh my God. I see things like a month later. Sorry, guys. Sorry. JJ put like 1,000 exclamation points and I still didn't see. Sorry. Yes, see, I'm 10 minutes behind on comments. I always am. I'm so sorry. By the time I say hi to people, they probably done already left. Bitch, never going back to your chat. You don't say hi to me. They don't realize I'm all the way back, a month back in the damn comments. So sorry, guys. So sorry. Yeah, I'll get to your comments soon. I'm so sorry. And I meant to keep dropping it because I knew, after a while, you can't see the comments. Sorry. You already know. Listen, this is not a perfection channel. This is the opposite. Hey, Megs. Love you, Megs, so much. Love you so much, Mama. Did you wash your butt today? Did you wash it with that butt stuff that Kimberly Roddy Mom sent you? Sorry, excuse me. Now that I know why, I'm thankful that you gave up your channel. Your family is way more important than me seeing the house. Yeah. She gets to spend time with her daughters, her husband, her horses, her animals. And if you are able to have a better mental health, then you do what you have to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. I've made mistakes too a lot. I'm telling you, you know, and sometimes there's nothing you can do but move forward because sometimes people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear even that you're sorry. Even when you say, okay, can we let it go? Can we move on? They find reasons to say you're not authentic about that. You're not genuine. Even if you're trying, like even if you're coming after you say that and you're just making videos and you're talking about addiction or you're talking about makeup or you're talking about this, some people will still try to find reasons to pick it apart. And anything I say on my channel is because I genuinely feel that. I never say anything out of obligations, you know? If I say it, it's because I truly feel it. I am tonight. It works while you're playing. Good for body acne. And then I want to try it. I want to see what it is. I don't even know what it is. I love you too, Steven. I love you guys so much. Y'all deal with me. I'm like, girl, what the hell? New subs will be like, what? I'm telling you. Yes, we popped Steven's panel cherry. Oh, we did. Oh, we did. I feel special. I'm so happy that you came up, Steven. And it was actually your comment that it really meant something to me. It was really important to me. And so I thank you for even making that comment. You know, it's important. I hope listen, guys, every time I watch the stream after, because I do after the stream, I do watch to see the chat, because sometimes I miss a lot of comments and I feel so guilty, and I'm sorry for missing comments. I do miss a lot of comments. But so what I'm gonna have to start doing is doing a special segment of dumbass Cindy ignored important comments. Yeah, that might be a new segment every live, or maybe at least once a week, because that'll be too much. Okay, once a week. I will do dumbass Cindy and the important comments her dumbass missed. Because I'm sorry, I don't do it on purpose. And I don't mean to, disregard any. We have a visitor who is knocking at my door. Hi, Bliss Chris.
Hi.
Hey, beautiful girl.
Hi.
How are
Can you
you?
hear me okay?
Yes, are you okay?
I'm good. My heart's still pounding out of my chest. I'm good. I'm
Oh
good.
my God, what happened?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I heard it. I was like coming down a side street and I heard a crash, and then I came up to turn on the main road and someone got T-boned. I was like
Oh
2
my
seconds
God.
away.
Oh my
So
gosh. I'm so glad that you're safe, that everybody is safe. Was anybody hurt? Like,
yeah, there was an elderly man, and
oh
he
no.
wasn't, I mean, he was okay, but something definitely going on with his knee. He kept falling down, so I just felt like
Oh
I
my
had to stop.
God. Yeah.
So, but I didn't even
Okay.
see it. The person in front of me who was turning out on the main road must have been the person
Mhm.
that got hit. So,
Oh, I see. So I hope that they will be okay, and that the man will be okay too. That's scary.
yeah, I just
That's very
stayed there until
scary.
the police came because I didn't see it, so I couldn't offer any assistance to what happened, and I didn't want to get boxed in there when the fire truck and the ambulance came.
Oh my
So,
gosh, yes. You would have never gotten out of there. You would have
no, I
never
would have
gotten
still
out
been
of there.
there.
Yeah, bendito. Yeah, I hope he's okay. Be praying for him and everyone else, and I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, I don't know if anyone's been in a car accident, but
Vera.
or even
Yeah.
seeing one, it just makes your adrenaline spike. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
the only place I can get privacy is sitting in the car. So I'm still
Yeah.
in the car.
I get it. I get it. Because you have the babies, and it's true. There's
Yeah,
some things that you want them to hear. I'm just glad that you're okay, Bliss Chris. Seriously.
yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And hi, Kat. How are you, sweetie? Okay. So I'm glad that you really don't go on panels too much either.
Nope.
And we've been, dying to talk, and so you could share whatever it is you wanted to share. I'm not gonna um talk for you, whatever you'd like to share with us, you can.
I'm an open book. I really like Steven's discussion though, because I've also been on both sides. But
Right,
before I was on Steven's side, as far, she was the family member of the addict. I
right.
was an addict before that. So I think even my view of it being on the other side is probably skewed
I
because I've
get it.
been the addict, so I get it.
Yep. Me too. Me too. It's true. But it's weird because I was on that other side as a kid, but as a kid you can't really process it.
Oh,
You don't.
definitely. Oh,
And then
yeah.
as an adult being an addict, and then after being in recovery, living with an addict. So I kind of owe this, and I don't mean to sound offensive. Please, nobody take offense to what I'm about to say. But I always felt like maybe that was my karma. Maybe I was getting my karma for
No,
everything I did to my family. You
I,
know?
I don't think so. It's just wild because after I was an addict, because I never knew this before or during my addiction, it's so crazy how it runs in families. And
Yeah.
as a kid, I didn't know about my family tree of addiction. But
Oh
as
wow.
I got older, my dad, told it to me. By then, I don't even think if he would have told me that before I even started dabbling, I don't think it would have mattered. I still think it would have went the same way no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right. And I don't even know, like, and so sometimes you wreck your brain, right? Trying to figure out, would it have gone differently? Was it just fate? Were you destined for this? And I think you can drive yourself crazy even trying to think like that. I've done that too. If how you watch movies and they're like, one decision can change your whole life. And so I used to play back certain things, like if I had never just went this way, or never gone to that party, or never done such and such, maybe I would have a different life. But even through all the bad that I've been through, all the trauma I've been through, I think that I try to make the best out of it. Like now, like, listen, it is what it is. Because I've said, and maybe people don't know, but I've said, before I experimented with drugs, I was a very damaged person because I was a damaged kid. I was taught all the negative attributes. My mom taught us survival of the fittest, like you do what you got to do to survive. To my mother, and no disrespect to my mother, may she rest in peace, but to my mother, lying was the truth. Manipulating was survival. So we were taught everything the opposite of what you teach your kids. You teach your kids, don't lie, don't steal. My mother taught us lie, steal, all of that.
yeah.
So I didn't realize that I was taught opposite values, anti-values, I guess. And it wasn't until I was in my addiction and got clean and started the program of recovery and going to meetings and all of this that I realized, oh my God, I was not a good person. And it took me a long time, to be honest. And I told all my secrets in those rooms, everything,
Mhm.
I got it out. And I've worked really hard to be an honest person. I'm not a perfect person, but I'm flawed. Flawed as fuck.
I mean, just because I didn't know that bit. I mean, I knew your mom struggled, but I didn't
Yeah.
know all the examples you just gave. So that just
Mhm.
makes me view you as an even stronger person because I, on the other hand, had an awesome childhood till about maybe like 12-ish, around there. And you got to
Mhm.
think when your mom was teaching you all that, those were your like formative years. That's all you knew.
Yeah, it was five,
You
six.
had to unlearn all that basically
Yeah.
and find a new way. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's incredible.
The
But yeah,
topic is about addiction and recovery. That's what the topic is about. I'm here to learn. Hi. So anyway, okay, sorry.
okay. So yeah, around 12 is when I personally started struggling. I didn't know this then because I wasn't diagnosed until my late 20s, but I have ADHD.
Okay.
And I was a straight A student up until like seventh, like middle of middle school. And my
Mhm.
grades started falling, and I kept telling my dad, something's not right. And he's just like, you just need to try harder. Like, that's just, he's old school like that. You just need to study more. I'm like, no, something's really not right. So
Yeah.
then I think without even knowing, I just went out looking for something to make me feel better. I don't know, you know?
Mhm.
So of course, pot was the first thing. I was the biggest freaking stoner. And I don't have anything against my Mary Jane. I love some Mary Jane.
Right.
Um,
I don't have nothing against ganja either. Listen, smoke
but at 12 years
responsibly.
old, it probably
Yeah.
wasn't the best.
Yeah. No. It probably
And
was.
it put me in with, that stoner crowd. And then like the ante keeps getting upped as far as drugs. And I was going to work and found someone who took pills. So I just started dabbling. All my late teens, I started dabbling.
Right.
My mid to late teens, my mom got sick
Right.
when I was around 15. And we didn't know what was wrong. Come to find out, she had early onset Alzheimer's.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So my dad's a truck driver on the road. My older sisters moved out, and I'm 15, 16, 17, 18, taking care of my mom, who is like deteriorating in front of me, And I think that was the undoing.
Yeah.
That's my game that I play. Like, what if that didn't happen?
Yeah.
And would I have just been the person that can dabble, like you said, the person that can do a drug for a couple days and then not do it for
Yes.
months? Would I have been that person? But I truly believe that was my undoing.
Yeah. I get
Um, so in my early 20s, I was 24, I had a back surgery. And of course, after,
Damn, you were
really
young to
serious,
have back surgery, Bliss.
I was a cheerleader for 12 years. So I think years of throwing girls in the air really did a number on my spine.
Yeah.
My kid wants to do it, and I'm like, oh God, she wants to do gymnastics and cheerleading and all that. And I'm like, I don't want you to go through this. But then again, you got to support your kids and what they want to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, after my back surgery, I got dependent on the pain medicine. And this story, like, you're just hearing it more and more often.
Right.
So yeah, it was just downhill from there. And I was getting my drug of choice legally.
Yes. Prescription. Yep.
The sucky part is I worked for the orthopedic office that did my surgery.
Oh, wow.
So he did not want to prescribe narcotics anymore, and they sent me to a pain management. And this was before all the pain clinics and the big like anti-narcotic hype that's been going on the past few years. I think me and you talked a little bit about this before.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just handing them out like candy.
Yep.
I would get, I hope this is okay to say on YouTube, like what I got, just to show you how heavy it was. I would get 180 80 milligram Oxycontin extended release a month and 180 of regular straight oxycodone 30s a month.
Why did they give you so much? If I do you
That's,
know why?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. So yeah, that got me going pretty heavy, taking 3 of those a day, and then that wasn't helping. Then you'd up it to another one and then another one. And then it just got to the point where it wasn't enough to hold me over anymore.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I did something really stupid, and I started calling in my own prescriptions.
Oh, wow. Because you worked there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of my story. And then during all this, I lost my cousin who was also addicted.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
His father, my uncle, is also addicted. He was literally doing heroin at his son's viewing. That's my dad's brother, and their father, my grandfather, I never met. He was an alcoholic. So like I said, I'm learning all this. Like, wow, really does go down the family. Like there has to be some kind of genetic connection that is not coincidence.
No, there definitely is. It's scientifically proven that there is a higher likelihood and there's a predisposition to addiction, and it doesn't only have to be, it doesn't have to manifest itself in drugs. Sex, I'm here to learn, yes, sex is an addiction. Some people are addicted to pornography. Anything that becomes a detriment, anything that you can't do in moderation, anything that interferes in your everyday life. If you can't go to work because you want to stay watching porn, you may want to go to a group. So it can manifest in food, in any of gambling, all kinds of ways, Bliss. So I think you're right.
Yeah, I haven't done much research on it, so.
Right.
But there's so many times I wanted to stop. I physically couldn't. I could not deal with it. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I lost my best friend at 26 to an overdose. She was actually clean, and I went to her. Oh man, I went to her viewing like all fucked up. Now that I think about it, like, and that still didn't stop me. It's just crazy. It's just wild looking back.
Yeah, Bliss, but you have to, that was your coping mechanism. That first of all, you were dependent on it. And like Ambulance Girl said, whoa, that amount of medication is a death sentence. It could have been. And I think that a lot of doctors, that's why they started changing regulations. And that's why there was crackdowns on doctors that were giving all this medication. They started getting investigated and all this stuff. And it's very important because so many people, even people that I worked with that had never used drugs recreationally, became addicts and had to move to heroin or other things because they became dependent on pills.
Oh, I was right around the corner. Yeah. I was right there. I was. I was probably a week away from doing that when I got busted, and I actually wrote a letter to the detective that busted me. He said he was working on my case for weeks, and the reason they went so hard on me, because my house was raided. They thought I was dealing because of what Ambulance Girl just said. They were looking at the amount of medication that I was filling every month, and they're thinking there's no way you of 20 whatever I was, 5'4" girl can be taking all this medication and not be dead. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I am. Like,
yeah,
no way was I giving my pills away to anyone, even for money. Like, it wasn't happening. So anyways, I wrote a letter to the detective a year later and just thanking him because he saved my life. I should not be here. I would pass out at work at 2:45 on my desk and not wake up till 5:15. Like, when stuff like that happens, like, you're literally about to die. Like, your heart rate gets slow. Like, I shouldn't be here, but I am. And he actually used my letter to teach other detectives. And that made me feel so good.
Yeah. You turned something negative into a positive. It saved your life. What I mean? And
it also saved me from jail.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the judge read the letter. She took pity on me.
Yeah, I get it. And that's a good thing because I think that they saw you weren't a career criminal. And that's a lot, I had never been in trouble, nothing. And in my addiction, I did the stupidest things because I wasn't thinking. I wasn't a drug dealer, but, I went and I copped for somebody and I got a direct sale for that. And I wasn't a dealer, I was an addict. And so you do things you're not thinking, right? You didn't think this is some serious crime that you're committing, which it was, like, holy crap, but you weren't thinking. And
in that moment, I'm only thinking of where I'm gonna get pills from.
Of
And
course.
I wasn't thinking about any repercussions or consequences or anything. That's all I cared about. Actually, we were on our way to rehab. I had to detox, completely withdraw for 4 days because it was a holiday weekend. And we woke up early Tuesday morning and we're on our way to rehab and we got pulled over. I'm like, why the hell are we getting pulled over?
Right.
Well, it was the detective. They
were
literally
watching you, boy.
so I went like a week, probably a little more than a week, and the most awful sickness. I know you know. It was so
Oh my God, yes. The
um
withdrawals you were going through.
it was so I can't explain to people who aren't addicts like how
Yeah,
awful it is. I don't
yeah.
even know how. I don't have the words. But I finally find a rehab in downtown Baltimore. And I'm talking downtown Baltimore off of Martin Luther King Street, like the worst of the worst.
Right.
I am like my husband's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "This is the only place I can go. I need help. I'm just coming here for help."
Yeah.
Well, the doctor said that since I was withdrawing for almost a week at that point, he didn't want to give me any kind of maintenance medication. I didn't even know what maintenance medications
Right.
were at that
Right.
point.
You were almost through. You were almost through.
That's what he was trying to say. I didn't really understand. I said, I don't care. I'm going to do what you give me. I'm going to do what I have
That's
to
right.
do.
That's
Well,
right.
he ended up giving me naloxone,
Mm-hmm.
not Suboxone, just the naloxone.
Yes.
And I went home that night and took it, and I shouldn't have, and I went into precipitated withdrawals.
Yeah, I don't know why he would give you
Yes.
basically Narcan. I don't know why he would give
Yeah.
you that
Yes.
when it would make you sicker, actually.
It
It's not
was
gonna help. He should have just given you something to help you sleep. At
so
least
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Something to help you
Exactly.
get through at least the night, because I know you were still going through the restless leg and arm syndrome. That's the worst part of it, especially even towards the end of withdrawals.
I agree.
The restless leg. And for those who don't know what restless leg and arm syndrome is, just imagine this feeling that's going through your arms and legs, and it's like it's like if this restlessness, and you want to just do like this to your arms and legs, and it happens usually at night, which is the
Yeah.
worst, when you're trying to sleep. So that's okay, and that's what happens. So giving you that is just gonna make your withdrawals worse and prolong them, because now there's nothing you can take. You can't even take anything to help with the aches. Nothing's gonna help for 24 hours. So I don't know why. That's what I'm saying.
I
It's so
don't either.
important to get for doctors to get educated in addiction. It's so important. You know what I mean? Because
It really is.
give you
I
that.
don't know what that doctor, I still had drugs in my system. I
Yeah.
was using drugs for years.
Yes.
So that was my first experience with a rehab.
Yes.
And then I got rushed to the ER that night because we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So
Horrible.
I
You didn't,
finally,
right? When you took that, you didn't know what the hell was happening.
no,
Oh my God.
it was the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. Whew, yeah, that was a rough one. But I did find an amazing outpatient that I got to go to.
Right.
And that I will credit them with really helping me and saving me. But looking back, if I knew what Suboxone was then, what I know now, I never would have taken it.
Yeah.
And I know that's just my personal opinion on
That's
it.
your
I
opinion,
know
right?
it saves people, it helps people. That's great. But coming off of that was
Yeah.
10 times worse than coming off of regular. It was just,
And
I
you
had
have
a
the
really
right to your
hard
opinion.
time
Yeah.
with it. And I abused it just like I abused narcotics. So
Yeah.
it just wasn't right for me.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So
And sometimes it isn't right for everyone, because it's very hard for some people to get off of it. And some people that don't need it can just go to detox and get off that way. I would never tell anybody what they have to do. And your experience is valid, Mama. Your experience is valid.
I don't want to tell people what to do, but I also want to make sure people are aware, because I had no idea what Suboxone really was when they gave it to me.
Yes.
And that was maybe my own stupidity for not doing research. It was still pretty new at the time,
It
though.
was, right? It
And
must have
I
been.
just knew it was something that was going to make me feel better. That's
Exactly.
all I know.
And you weren't dumb. You just didn't know. You didn't
Yeah.
know. And like you said, at that time it was fairly new. You know what I mean?
I had my arms in the air, like, you know what? I'm handing myself over to y'all. I'm going to do what you say.
Yeah, of course.
So that was basically me at the time. I was not in any headspace to even do any kind of research on anything at that point, but I was doing the same shit with Suboxone. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss.
No, you good. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You good, mama.
Can't help it. But yeah, I was doing the same stuff with Suboxone as I started to. Not at first, but it got worse. And I
Right.
was going out and looking for it because I was running out. I was doing the same stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to live this way anymore. And it wasn't as out of control as I was before, but I'm just like, I'm done. And I just stopped taking it one day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Two and a half
you did.
months later, I'm still withdrawing from it.
Wow. 2.5 months later.
2.5. I'm to the point now, I can't function. Like, I don't know what to do. So
Right.
my husband starts researching because, again, I'm back in that headspace where I can only think about what I'm going through in this moment. It hurts. It sucks.
Of course.
And that's when he found Kratom. Because
Okay.
unfortunately, I do live with pain. I have a pain syndrome. Like, it's not going to go away. It's not going to get better. You can't. So do I. Yeah. So that was I found Kratom, and I've turned into the biggest Kratom advocate. I credit that with saving my life.
Right.
That saved me. I've
I'm
never
glad-
used
I'm
it.
glad it saved
Yeah,
you.
it really did. If people don't know what Kratom is, it's just it's an Indonesian leaf that they grind into powder, and you take it like tea. Like, I just mix mine with hot water and take it 2 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very helpful, and it's going through a lot right now because states are trying to ban it. I won't get into why, because, YouTube and political stuff, but
Yeah.
I
get
really
it.
do credit that with saving my life.
Yeah. And I agree. There's a lot of politics with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that it's very individual, and I understand what Megan said too, because my withdrawals, for me, what lasted the longest was the insomnia. The
Mm-hmm.
insomnia was the longest, and Ambulance Girl said it very well. Restless leg and arm syndrome, you can equate it to all the nerves in your arms and your legs firing off at the same time.
Like making you twitch. And
Yes, that is precisely how it feels. Like all of your nerves are on fire oh my God, that's what it feels like. So after you get through the stomach cramps, because usually you can experience all or some, the stomach cramps, the aches and pains of your body hurting, your back hurts. You have, what else do you have? You have the sweats, you have vomiting, you have, oh my God, you have the insomnia. You're just in so much pain, so much discomfort, physically, mentally. You feel defeated, you feel depressed. It's like the flu times stomach flu time. Oh my God, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
And then you go through insomnia. Then after you're starting to feel a little better, you're not gonna sleep for a very long time. It's really horrible. It's really horrible. And I don't know. I'm glad that you got through it. Everybody's withdrawals are different, last different amounts of time, and it depends on the kind of help you get. And I think that's why it's very important to have support, to see doctors and people that are educated in it and understand addiction and stuff, because she didn't need to go through that. You didn't need to go through that, especially getting the naloxone. They threw a wrench right in your shit. He threw a wrench all in your shit and basically started you on the process all over again. That's basically what he did.
Yeah.
Started you from day one all over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
I mean,
terrible.
looking back though, I'm kind of glad. I mean, no one's gonna have a great breezy time going through that,
No,
but
definitely
I'm
not.
kind of glad when I think about pills, that's the thought that comes in my head.
Yeah.
Because, I've had 2 C-sections since then, and I had an awesome doctor, and I was so blessed to have her because I'm like, listen, like, you know my history. I'm
Yes.
also a big baby when it comes to pain.
Right.
I will
Yes.
fully admit it. But
Excuse me.
I want to have adequate pain relief after such a major surgery.
Right.
Everyone deserves that. And I'm
Yeah.
sick of people sending people like us home with Tylenol. Like, thankfully,
Yeah.
I had an awesome doctor and a great support system, an amazing husband. I don't know how this man has stuck by me through all of
That's
this.
a beautiful thing
It
because he
it
loves
really
you.
is.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
loves you. You know.
yeah. But so yeah, I think yeah, there's just a lot going on right now with pills and addicts and recovery and people making judgments, and I get looks when I tell people every once in a blue moon I smoke weed, but you're in recovery. I'm like, but my recovery is my recovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I still drink. You guys know I have my Saturday nights with my man every
Yeah.
weekend.
Your recovery is yours, Bliss. Nobody can tell you what your recovery. That's why last year, not well, I say last year, not my birthday that just passed, the one in 2021. I was celebrating and I had one drink and I had a few people coming in like, I thought you were in
Oh, I
recovery.
remember.
You
I
remember,
remember.
right? I'm like, yeah, I am, and I'm having one drink. Everyone's recovery is different, and you do have to be careful. But it's about knowing yourself and knowing your triggers.
Yes.
And alcohol wasn't a gateway drug for me. For some people, it was. For some people, it can be. It
Yeah.
never was. I never had a problem with alcohol. I never started with alcohol, and I don't drink in excess. If I drink, like I said, a few times a year, that's a lot. You know what I mean? And I think that is very individual. And Ambulance Girl said actually giving her naloxone after she had been withdrawing for a week is contraindicated. And I think that it's just, and I think that's why it's important um, for doctors also to understand the effects of giving somebody medication like they gave you and giving you so
Mm-hmm.
much of it, and the possibilities of somebody becoming addicted because they were prescribing people for long periods of time these medications that are highly addictive and then expecting them not to become addicted. And I know that when I was in my recovery, I had 2 sons and I had 2 C-sections, never had C-sections. And in my recovery, I had 2 C-sections. And I was definitely afraid of that as well. And thank God that my doctors were very educated in addiction and just told me, listen, you take it as prescribed, you don't overdo it, and you should be fine. And I was fine. I took them for a few days after my C-section and I didn't need them anymore and I didn't take them anymore. And I was telling JJ, I need an operation because I have endometriosis. I have a lot of pain and stuff with, my uterus and a lot of scarring from the 2 emergency C-sections. They were both emergency C-sections. So I have a lot of scarring and they couldn't do this quick procedure on my endometriosis because of all the scarring. So it's going to be an operation and I'm definitely afraid because I don't want to take pain medication and that's my fear. So I've been holding off on it.
I totally understand that fear. You also have awesome sons. Like, I have an awesome husband that can hold your medication and dish it out to you. I was actually the opposite. I was super confident and strong in my recovery. And I knew, like I said, when I think about pain pills, like, it just takes me back to the worst of the worst.
Yep.
In recovery, they call it replaying the tape. My tape is brutal and horrible. So I was very, very confident and strong, and I knew I'd be fine. But I had nurses in the hospital that would look at my chart and go, "Oh, I'm going to talk to your doctor because we can't give you narcotics after the
Yes.
surgery."
Yep.
No, no, I've already spoken to my doctor. We already have a plan in place. And I
Mhm.
feel like addicts really get a bad rap
Oh,
from that
yes.
when they
Oh,
go
yes.
through
When I
situations
went
like
into the
this.
hospital and they didn't know, Bliss, they were treating me completely different. And then once they knew my
Yep.
history, they treated me horrible.
Yep.
With my last son, they treated me horrible in the NICU. They accused me of stealing a screw to a swing, not even the swing, a screw. I kid you not. One of the nurses, and then a ointment because my son was in the NICU. And she was like, "Oh, the Desitin is missing." I'm like, "My baby's here. Why would I take a Desitin home if my baby's still here?" Like, it was really bad. It
Oh
was
my
really bad.
God.
And I had to report them. Yep, I had to report them for
That's
the way they treated me. They treated
that
me
was
horrible.
me with my son, with my first child, and the
Yes.
nurse was very obviously biased and just very nasty to me. And
Mhm.
my first child, I was still very new to recovery at that point. I was very naive and I kind of just took it from them. And the second time around, I put my foot down and I said, no, I am not letting anyone treat me this way. I deserve the
That's right.
same respect that any other mother in this ward is getting.
Yep.
And when that nurse said that to me, I asked her to leave and I asked for the charge nurse and I said, I do not want her back in my room. You
Yeah.
just be strong and confident in yourself and don't let
That's it.
I understand both sides. Like I get where they're coming from. They don't want to risk it, but they also need to listen to you. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, there's not going to be a problem.
Right. Because some of them think that you're just trying to get over. Like, I
Yeah.
suffered from migraines and I had to go into the hospital one time. And I didn't want narcotics. I just wanted my migraines to go away. And I was afraid to even say that I was a recovering addict. And when I told them, I'm telling you, the way they treated me was totally different. And thank God that one of the nurses was really nasty to me. And thank God that this other nurse, he heard her and he came in and he pulled her to the side and had a few words with her. And then he spoke to me. He was like, "Listen, I apologize for that. You don't deserve that." You know what I mean? They can't just put everybody that has had an addiction past. He said, because if we treat everyone like that, then they're not going to disclose that to us. And he said, we could have given you a medication that could have made you very ill or something. So he said, some of these people need to be re-educated. And when he said that, I was like, damn, and
Yeah.
I really appreciated that he didn't treat me like that. And they, because of my past, don't hold that against me. I'm not coming here for drugs. I told them I don't want narcotics, just anything that will help these headaches, check my blood pressure, make sure that I'm okay, because something was going on with my headaches. But it makes me sad that these people that are supposed to be there to help people have these prejudices and they just look at you a certain way, It makes me
Yeah,
sad.
the judgments and prejudices is uncalled for. The
Mhm.
judgments, even on YouTube with people, like I know after this, I'm gonna get judged. I'll get stuff said about me, I'm sure. But I'm strong and confident myself.
That's
And if
right.
one person can listen to this and just take something away from it, I'm not wanting it to be like this huge mind-blowing experience for anyone to change their life, but just a little something, like even understanding, like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Now I
Yeah.
see where they're coming from. So that's the reason that I came up here.
And I think it's so important, Bliss Chris, and I thank you so much for even sharing your story, because I know that hearing it is helpful. There's so many people, Bliss, that DM me and tell me that they've never publicly shared their story on YouTube or anywhere on social media because of how people treat people, or that'll be weaponized against them. And then there's so many people that hadn't shared their story, and when other people came and shared it, it encouraged others to open up. So I thank you for your courage, and you've been through a lot, and I know the person you are. You're my friend, and I think that you're an amazing woman, and I think that it's so important for stories like yours, because I come here and I tell my story, people are like, she told her story 98 million times. So I think it's important to hear other people's story, because this happens more often, and you weren't like me. You weren't a recreational user. You were given a prescription. you trusted your doctor and you became an addict. And there's so many people that took their medication as prescribed and entrusted their doctor and became addicted. So your story is very important because it's not just the average addict story, right? Oh, yeah, she
Yeah.
just wanted to use drugs. There's so many people like you that have had accidents, car accidents, operations, and were given medication for pain and became addicted to it. So I think that your story is very, very important. And I'm so grateful and thankful that you even shared your story. And I know it will help people. I know it will. And it's about educating those that are ignorant, willfully ignorant, and don't want to learn better, to understand that we're people, we're human beings, we're flawed, but using our past addiction, our current addictions against us as a weapon to come at us about our character defects, like me being a bitch. Okay, I'm a bitch. You want to call me a bitch? Come at me for that. But because I was an addict 22 years ago, because my husband is an addict that's fighting for his life right now, don't use that against me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really about the re-education, because just the past 10 years alone, so much has changed in the world of addiction and recovery.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been able to do this in the beginning of my recovery. I was actually the type of person where I tried meetings for like a year, but I couldn't listen to people's stories. They triggered me more than anything.
Yep.
So when I came home one night and I'm like just defeated, because like I'm really trying to give it my all in recovery, and I like turned to my husband, I'm like, I can't do these meetings anymore. And everyone was like, well, are you sure? Like, you need to do this. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I get that why they were scared, but yeah, it's just about re-education. It's even doctors, people, nurses, everyone.
Yes, and in doctors you would think, but they need a education in addiction and how that correlates and translates over into medicine, into prescription drugs, because that is huge. You'd be shocked at how many people became addicts from taking their medication as prescribed. That's how my mother opened herself up in her 60s to using drugs again. She was taking Percocets. My mother had chronic pain. My mother had diabetes, had toes amputated. My mother had triple bypass heart surgery. Then they messed up her legs. They had to operate on her legs. As I said, she had toes amputated. My mother found out she had cancer before she passed away. So she was taking a lot of pain medication and it didn't help anymore. And then they had her on pain medication, Percocets, all these Percocets, and then wanted to take it from her.
Yeah.
She was already dependent on it. And so she started using again. I think that it's important to understand what happens to people when you put them on these medications and they do pain management and all these things and become addicted to it. It's huge. It's important. And I think that that's why these types of discussions are important. That's why I'm so grateful that you came up here, that Stephen came up here. It's about voices and stories like you guys. That's important so that people can understand and pass the word on to others. You know what I mean? Like, we've been dealing with crap on YouTube and on Twitter, but this is important. This is seriously, this is the goal.
You noticed right when I came on panel, there's a stock troll account that comes in. Like, I already knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, of course. Yep. I knew it too. I expected it. It wasn't unsubscriber only. And I can still treat people with respect until they get a little too far. Then, they got to go. And you already know what's going to happen. I had somebody streaming my stream before I even really started it. And it's all just to try to, it's to try to push us, to lead us where they want to lead us. They're trying to herd us into a corner to get the reaction that they want us to give. And I refuse to be herded by anybody.
I agree, because I'm not going to lie. When I heard that, and I didn't look, I don't know if that's even true. So I'm not going to say that even did happen, but I had a fleeting thought, like, do I even want to go on panel tonight? Maybe I'll just reach out to Cindy and we'll do like an,
Yeah.
a Q&A
Pre-recorded, right.
one-on-one. Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, you know what? No, F that. I'm not going to have anyone scare me off of anything.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because I did think about that, and I was like, you know what, maybe no one's gonna want to come on panel, and I respect that as well. And I think that it's just preemptively people trying to intimidate people not to come into my chat, not to support me, and that makes me sad, because I keep saying I want to move past it. I'm not on Twitter fighting with people. I'm not doing community posts calling people out their name, tagging them. I'm not. You know, if I throw a little shade once in a while and that's all I'm doing, like, I don't understand. I'm trying to move past it, Bliss, and I know we all are, but we have the right to our opinion. We have the right to our opinion. We have the right to defend ourselves. And it's all just gotten really, really dark. We can support whomever the hell we want. We can go wherever the hell we want. And there's a lot of chats I don't go into because I don't want to cause problems. There's a lot of creators that I watch. Today I was watching 90 Days on Blast. I watch a lot of creators and I don't go into their chats because I don't want to cause people problems, or people think it is what it is. You understand? But we have to stand firm in that we won't be told where we can go, what we can do. And we can't be held accountable for somebody else's words. You shouldn't be held accountable because you support me and now you're a mod for me. You're my friend. You're more than that. You're my friend. And none of my friends should be held accountable for my words. I should be held accountable. None of my subscribers, none of my members should be singled out or my chat shown. Oh, look who's in Selfie's chat. That's it's messed up, because if we start doing that, then we can do that to anybody that we don't like's chat, right? Oh, you're only in that chat because you all hate such and such. And the same can be said about other people. It can always be said about everybody else. You guys are all together because you hate the same people as well. It just doesn't make any sense. And we've all been hypocrites in some situations, but I won't be told what to do.
I mean, you guys know I won't be told what to do or pushed around. I feel like I've gone through kind of what you're talking about, maybe even before any of y'all.
Yep.
And I've always held firm in who I support, and you're not going to tell me who I can and can't support. You're not going to bully me into like being scared to go somewhere or say this here or whatever. So I'm sorry that you still feel that way. And I know you're doing it from a very unselfish place because you just don't want to bring drama to that creator's channel. And I get that. But at the same time, it can still be unfair and not right.
Yeah, it is unfair. It's still a form of dictating, and it's still stopping people from going into certain chats. And
it's gatekeeping. That's what it is. It's gatekeeping. And you have the same people like yelling not to gatekeep while gatekeeping.
Yep. And that's the crazy thing, that we all support people that other people feel are problematic at best, and that say downright terrible things, right? Everybody's said something that somebody else considers terrible, deal breaker, yada, yada, yada. If you don't support me, you don't have to support me. But you trying to intimidate others into not supporting me crosses the line. I don't understand why that is even a thing or why that's allowed. I would love for somebody to show me where I've ever done that, where I've ever went into a DM and even questioned somebody about why they were in somebody's chat. I could tell you I've never done that, not once. Not once have I DM'd anybody. Like, you were in such and such a chat. Why do you support them? That Karenina shit won't come out of my mouth. Like, for real. That's some Karenina shit. It's entitled. It's an entitled attitude. And so many people have become accustomed to this entitled attitude that they think they can do this. And I'm here to tell them not around these damn parts. You're not over here.
I just keep it 100. I don't care whether it's here, whether it's in BX's chat, whether it's on
Mhm.
Twitter, whether I speak to you in a DM or a Discord. I am who I am everywhere. If I
Yeah.
say something to someone in a DM and later we have a fallout and they feel the need to like out DMs, I have no worries
Right. Because
because
you
I
stand by
don't
it.
do the nasty stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
I can legitimately and confidently say that if anyone ever wanted to put a DM out,
Yeah.
I think it's shitty. I mean, I
Right.
don't agree with that, but if
Mhm.
you really feel the need, you're not going to hurt me by doing it. I'm going to look at you like you're a jerk, but
Yeah.
it's not going
You
to
stand
affect
by what
me
you
in any
say.
way.
And I think that's important to just stand by. Sometimes we may get a little short or a little nasty or a little
But it's
bitchy,
always in
but you stand by
reaction.
it. Yeah.
I'm not going to come at anyone nasty because of who they support or who they talk to. I judge everyone individually, and it's just really wild to see people being all lumped in together as like a group. And
Yeah.
I've never done that to anyone until recently, because for some people it's like a choreographed group effort the
Yeah.
way they're going at other people. And
It is,
even say, like,
right?
if you have an issue with me, if I did something, you can always come to me and say it. Most people don't. They just see me in your chat or they saw me in VX's chat and they just block. That's fine too. I'm going to
Yeah.
side eye you, but if that's what you need to do to protect your peace from me, but I'm not someone you need protection from. I'm going
That's
to be
true.
respectful to you no matter who you are
Yes.
until you come at me sideways, and then I will react and I will pop off. I have popped off in the past. I've really tried not to in like the past year. It's just not worth it anyways. Like what is it going to help?
Yeah.
Anything, it just draws more attention to the people that want the attention. So
It does. It really does. And I think that that's all it does. Like, um, people are gonna have their opinions, Bliss. The majority of the people that yell the loudest have made up their minds. Have
yeah.
made up their minds one way or another, and you can't change that. And people that don't like me and don't want to be around me, I don't want them around me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not
You're
trying to
doing me
force
the favor.
somebody. Yeah, I'm not trying
Yeah.
to force somebody to be in
Yeah.
my circumference that doesn't want to be here. I don't want it to be awkward for either of us. So the best thing we can do is just stay away from each other. And I stay in my lane. I'm not gonna go into chats where people don't like me to make other people uncomfortable. That's not a thing. I don't watch people that don't like me. I don't watch any of that shit. I don't care. I've learned better of it. I used to do it
Yeah.
in the past, and it's not healthy. I don't need to know. And they want to keep watching, they can do that, but I'm not doing that. I
I, I'm
know
I'm
what I
still
need.
learning that, and I definitely don't do it as much as I did. But it also doesn't emotionally affect me in my real life, and I'm kind of nosy. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like want to, and not even that, I kind of want to get the whole picture. I've told you
Yeah,
this before. I want
yeah.
to hear it from their view, I want to hear it from your view. I want
I
to
get
make
it.
my opinion. And just because I have an opinion doesn't mean that I need to express it. I can just keep that opinion. And
Yep,
there is a way to express your opinion respectfully. I
I
don't
agree.
typically lately, I don't even share my opinion unless it's something I feel strongly about or I'm
Mhm.
passionate about, or it's a pattern of behavior I've seen from someone where I'm finally like, you know what, I'm going to call it out and just ask them. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to instantly call them names and judge. I mean, just the way people attack people is just, it's unnecessary.
Yeah, people have lost their communication skills. It's all, it's no more of even attempting to have a conversation or communicate. It's really not. It's all just attacks, assumptions, accusations, innuendo. It's all of that. That's what it's become. And I don't know if it's because of the 2 years of the pandemic that it has interrupted people's social skills so much that now everything is behind the keyboard and people have just become so brazen, so emboldened, because they don't have to say this stuff face to face, that they just forgot how to have a real conversation,
Yeah,
and
I've definitely seen a difference since the pandemic.
Yeah, hell
'Cause
yeah.
I was on YouTube a couple years before the pandemic, and I mean, I was also new and very naive to YouTube,
Me
but
too.
it's definitely gotten bad these
It
past
has.
couple years. So,
It has. And that's why I've also learned that we can't control other people. It's
yeah,
exhausting and it's futile to even try, right? Even if you're trying to make somebody, even if you're trying to have a civilized conversation and make somebody see from another point of view, you have to pick your battles because some people that's not the
it's not
point.
possible. It's
And
not
it's
even
and it's
possible for them
right,
to
and
see
it's
it.
not
Yeah.
possible, and it's not even the point. It's not that they're even coming from a place to understand. It's fueled by hate or by extreme rage and anger. So the point is not even to understand or to come to a resolution. It's a vendetta, in my opinion. A lot of what's going on now is just a vendetta. Um, and it's
For some people, it's content too.
yes, yes.
So,
I agree. I agree. So I'm picking my battles, and there's a lot of battles that I'm not even fighting anymore. I'm not. I'm just ignoring it. And people could say that's weak. People could see however they want. I have a long-term goal in sight, and I want my channel to be a safe place for people to come. And it's not a beefing channel. It's not. It's never been that.
like I told you, don't look down.
I'm exactly. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking down, and I'm not looking back.
Yeah.
I don't move in reverse. You know what I mean? I'm not a car. I look straight ahead and I look upward and onward, and that's what I'm going to do. And there may be some times that I may trip and put my foot in my mouth, and I'll say, "Oh, oh, that foot tastes nasty. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're gonna keep it moving."
Hey,
And
we're human.
that's all I could do. You know,
Yeah.
it's about
Well, I
people.
really thank you for letting me come up. My
Thank you for
kids,
coming
I'm
up.
sitting in
I'm
front of
about
my
to end
house,
this
and
one.
my
Yes.
kids are standing on the couch in the front window dancing and making funny faces at me.
They're like, "Ma, I see you in that car, Ma. Get your ass in."
But I
love you, Bliss.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
I
much.
love you too.
Love you, Mama. Have a
Good
good
night.
night. Good night, Mama. Yeah, guys. Hi, Chicken Cakes. And I didn't even get to say hi to my BB from VA. Oh, my poor baby. Is that I didn't want to interrupt my Bliss Chris while she was speaking. I hope that if she watches the rest on the replay. Hi, BB from VA. I'm sorry, Mama. And yeah, it definitely has changed. It's changed so many lives. I lost my mom my uncle, two of my uncles, and my grandfather. So the pandemic definitely changed my life forever, changed so many people's lives, right? We all had to learn a different way to communicate. Hey, juror number 6. How are you, sweetie? Yeah, I think Bliss Chris, her story was amazing, and Stephen for coming up. That I was honored to have Stephen even come up. And Bliss Chris, I've been dying to have her come up as well. And that was so Stephen was a surprise treat, right? I had no idea. And I think that it was amazing. And you guys are always welcome to come up on my panel anytime. Say, hey, Sophie, drop the link. I would be more than happy to drop the link for you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys. And again, I know the stream started off kind of in a weird place, but it's okay, guys. It's okay. Again, we can't make everybody happy. That's impossible. You know what I mean? And people have the right to their opinion. Again, I'm not going to watch streams that are negative. I'm not going to do it. It's just that's how I deal, or maybe that's a way of not dealing with it, but I've learned better from it. Criticism is one thing, and I know people that have spoken to me in private and we have conversations, but I don't think that that's criticism. It's not. And you're calling me all kinds of bitches, and that's not criticism. So I don't need to hear it. I don't want to know it. But I love you guys, and I thank you guys for being here. I was in awe how many people came in tonight, and I'm really, really grateful. Again, I'm really grateful for the core support that I have. It means so much to me. I don't come here to try to get 1,000 views each video. I'm not a numbers person. I'm appreciative of everybody that comes here all my members, all my subscribers, even new visitors. You're more than welcome here. You know, I don't side eye new people just because they're new. I welcome them. Just don't be weird. But I'm weird, so I don't know what that means, you know. The part on the losses did change. Yeah, I know, Kat. I know a lot of it changed for so much of us, you know. And it's okay that some people were just home for so long when everything closed down, when the world like shut down and you had no choice but to be home. It was scary. It was a scary, and a lot of people have been traumatized because of that. Imagine the world shutting down. That's like every horror movie you've ever heard of, right? Where it's the end of the world, the streets have like those hay bales, you know, in the wind and stuff. It felt like that, especially living in New York, and everything shut down and the stores, Macy's, boarded up. It looked like a movie. It looked like a movie. I remember walking through the streets of New York, more terrified than of getting mugged and all of that. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And these are the streams we're gonna do. And that's it. You know, if I have something pressing on my mind, I keep it to members only. That's where I rant. Yep. That's where I vent. Yep. So I'm sorry to my members because that's where I vent. Yes. But I come here and I'm trying to let people have a voice, you know? Yes, Christina, right? The amount of people that were passing away on a daily basis. Imagine that they had to have people in trucks. There was no room for people. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And it shaped us. And that's something I've lived through 9/11. I've lived through the pandemic. You know what I mean? Y2K and all these things. And history, you know, but we can't lose our basic social skills, communicating with people, not talking at people, talking to people. There's been times where I've talked at people. I've been angry. I've talked at people. I don't want to talk at people. I want to talk to people. And if we can't talk because we're past that, then fine. Let it go. We're never going to like each other. That's fine. That's fine. But I have the right to my channel. I have the right to my channel. As long as I'm not breaking the law, breaking TOS, breaking these cardinal rules. You know what I mean? I'm not on here doxing. I don't have people's names plastered everywhere. Just let me be, and I can let you be. Oh, thank you, Megan. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. I'm so happy that Stephen did that, and Bliss Chris. Thank you. You guys honored me. Seriously. We were so lucky, hubby and I, that I was already sick. We had purchased our first RV so I could travel just an hour and a half to Daughters. Oh, as I can't sit in the car easily, then pandemic happened. We were lucky. Wow. I know. I'm glad that you were at least able to travel. Just a few days into the shutdown, my hubs got home and said he wanted to show me something we thought we couldn't see in our lifetimes. Not one car in the Las Vegas Strip. Oh my God. Ambulance Girl. There's a movie, a zombie movie, right? And it's supposed to happen in Vegas. And Vegas looks like that. So I'm picturing that's how it must have looked in Vegas. You know, because Nevada is a desert, right? So imagine had it been longer, there would have been sand on the pavement on the streets of Vegas because the wind would have eventually pushed the sand onto the major roads in Las Vegas. And in so many of those eerie end of the world movies, that's how you see Las Vegas, with a bunch of sand, you know what I mean? In front, sand dunes piled all in front of these big casinos and hotels. And it must have been scary because that's how it was in New York. It was terrifying. Hey, my Chronic, how are you, beautiful? It was terrifying. So I can imagine, right? The Vegas Strip vacant because everything was shut down. I remember here in New York, when I would go to work, we had to have cards. we had to carry cards. We went and we had to get our cards laminated that said that we were on the streets because we were working. And it said the hours that we worked, and we had to carry those for months because nobody was allowed to be out in New York. Like the cops would stop you. You were not allowed. It was scary. It kind of was like martial law. It was scary. It was terrifying. Not knowing how long that was going to last, and carrying a card to go to work every day was terrifying. I was like, what is this? You know, it was really scary, but we got through it. You know, we suffered a lot of loss, you know, and stuff, but we're still here, and it should make us stronger. I was in New York and wondered if I could make my flight home. Fire and Ice, that's horrifying. Imagine being stranded somewhere that's not home and needing to get a flight home and not being able to know if you could get home, or if you'll even be quarantined when you got off the flight, if you'll be even able to go to your home. It was terrifying. I know that the pandemic was terrifying. Resident Evil Extinction, yes. Yes, remember where they had those big like things that they have in the ports. I don't know what they are, those. You know what I'm talking about, those metal containers. And when they had the zombies come out of them shits in Vegas, I love Resident Evil. That is one of my listen, I'm a horror fanatic. Resident Evil, zombies, werewolves, vampires. 3 favorites. The Howling is still my favorite werewolf movie ever. I know it's super old. I just think that the way they had the transformation with the bubbling of the skin of Eddie, the way he transformed into a werewolf, was still one of my favorite. Now they do everything with CGI. Think about it. Those movies were done all with special effects. They had to have pumps and all of that to have the skin bubbling and the chest bubbling and all of that. The Howling is my favorite werewolf movie. I do like, of course, I can't believe I forgot the movie now. Underworld, love it. But I love Resident Evil. The game used to freak me out. I love Resident Evil. All those. I love those kinds of movies, you know? Hey, Melanie B. Oh my God, earlier, I saw a name and I was thinking of you. And then I looked again. I was like, I thought it was you, Melanie B. How are you, sweetheart? I was thinking about you earlier. Shipping containers. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. You know, simple. Shipping containers. Yes. Those, terrifying. And it's funny because they had it in Resident Evil, and they also had those shipping containers in that other movie that had John Batista, was it? Yeah, John Batista was in that movie, the zombie movie, where they were in Las Vegas too. And I'm gonna think of the name because it's on Netflix, and it's a fairly newer zombie movie, and it's crazy. But yeah, love the supernatural, anything. Me too. I love horror, but werewolves, zombies, and vampires are my thing. Love zombie movies. You know, World War Z with Brad Pitt. Love it. What was the other one? 28 Weeks Later. That movie messed my head up. Lost Boys. Oh my God, Buffy the movie. I was watching. I know. I loved Buffy, the show, but Buffy the movie, it was so funny and corny. I love it. I was watching it the other day. Lost Boys is my favorite movie. I've watched 1, 2, and 3. Of course, 2 and 3, you know. Part 1 is my favorite movie too, Lost Boys. I love those movies. I loved Corey Haim. I'm aging myself. As a teenager, I had posters of Corey Haim. I loved him growing up. I loved him. I had posters. You know those teen magazines? I think it was called Teen. We had those magazines. Listen, there was no internet. It was magazines. And I had the Corey Haim all over. I loved Corey Haim. So I loved Lost Boys. Silver Bullet is a werewolf movie. Corey Haim was so young in that movie. He played a paraplegic who fought a werewolf. So it's a Stephen King movie, Silver Bullet. Love that movie. Guys, I know I'm crazy. I was just there, got home 2 days before Broadway shut down. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wait, my husband was an essential worker. Me too, I was an essential worker. That's why we had to have the little card to show that you were an essential worker. because nobody else was allowed to be outside because nothing else was open, just essential workers. And that's what I was. Definitely. Yep. They kept quarantining people over in China. I saw a group of people charging for the gates at an amusement park trying to get out because they ordered a virus quarantine. That's scary. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. She was born at 3:20 on 9/12. Yes, JJ begged the doctors, please don't let her be born on 9/11. Dead ass. Dead ass JJ begged, please, please, please. Hold on. JJ was like crossing them legs, like, nope, nope. JJ's dead ass serious. She was like, girl, you are not being born on 9/11. Somebody else has a birthday 9/11. A creator has a birthday 9/11. Is it Brooke? I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. My hubby took early retirement just in case, thinking I had to fend for myself if he couldn't make it home. Technically called LD3 containers. I only know that because of my airline, but damn, LD3 containers. Okay, shit. I have stayed in a shipping container they converted into a bed and breakfast. Oh my God, Melanie B, have you seen? They have these tiny homes that they've used those shipping containers to create some beautiful homes with freaking shipping containers. But I could imagine being dizzy if it was just a container. Yeah, I would have got vertigo and stuff. I would have got claustrophobic. But I've seen them use like 3 or 4 shipping containers and make them into tiny homes, even though it's not really a tiny home, it's pretty big. But using shipping containers, I'm telling you, Contagion, oh yes, Outbreak, all those movies. Listen, I can't watch too many of those. Like 2012 or something? I couldn't watch that movie. It freaked me out. Movies about like tsunamis ending the world, I can't watch that. I was in New York. I was like, we're done. Tsunami hits New York, where I'm going. Like, there's no, you're done. So movies like that I can't watch because it will give me nightmares. It will give me nightmares. Fun side note, my husband's uncle is the creator of the character Jason from Friday. No. And was a screenwriter for the first, second movies. Then he sold his rights and lived happily and rich until death. Oh, my Wi-Fi. Guys, I'm probably like, I don't even know if I'm still talking. I still have 1 bar, so I'm probably not even talking. I'm probably buffering. Can't hear me. I don't know. I probably am. Sorry, guys. That is pretty cool, though, Bliss Chris. That is pretty cool. And I still got 1 bar. So I don't know if you guys even can hear me. So my daughter has had 2 babies during pandemic. Scary stuff. I think she's brave as hell, Cat. 2 babies. She's brave. Them pandemic babies, boy. Teflon strong. Babies are Teflon strong. For real, pandemic babies. Them babies were born with their eyes open, looking around like, what up? What up? I swear to God, them babies are, woof, no joke. That is pretty cool. I wish I had that. What? One of my family members, Jason Voorhees and shit. I love Jason Voorhees. The original Friday the 13th movie, loved it. Part 2, I liked the remake too with the guy from Supernatural. I love him. He was also in House of Wax. I love him. I can't. Jared Padalecki or something. I butchered his name, but I love him. You know, the guy from Supernatural, the tall guy. Fine. Yeah, he was in the remake of Friday the 13th. Oof. Yeah, and in House of Wax, they violated him in House of Wax, though. But okay. That's so cool. People are converting those to make Airbnbs in their yards here in Cali. That's pretty cool. I would love that. I want to live in a tiny home. That is, I've said it so many times. That is my dream, to get a tiny home and just downsize. I've downsized, but I would love that. A tiny home would be right up my alley. I wish they used those. They'd revamp. Yes, right? Make them for the homeless. You know how happy somebody would be with one of those little containers? I saw in Florida, they have a tiny house community for the homeless that they made specifically for people that are homeless, and they're beautiful. They have their own little space. It's a communal space. It's in Florida, and they're beautiful. They've given them their pride back. They've given them a sense of belonging. They're not sleeping on the streets. They have their own little space. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think that will be great. You know, the dead don't die. No, now I want to sit. Now I'm going to look for it. The dead don't die. I'm going to look for that. I am going to look for that. And yeah, I was also an essential worker. Actually got pulled over leaving work. So glad I had me too. One time I got stopped too and I had my card. Thank God. They were not playing with that. They were taking you to jail. Like, I'm not supposed to be on the street. You want to take me to jail? What the hell? Just let me go home. No, you can see your card. You would have got fined. You were going to get fined a lot of money. So, no. Cindy the grifter over here can't pay no damn fines. I'm joking. My daughter's boyfriend has a shipping container on his property. It's huge inside. He uses it as a workshop. Yeah, there was a guy that had a shipping container on his property, and he actually had a woman held captive in there for, I think, like 28 days. So, yeah. I see somebody with a shipping container on their property, and they're like, oh, yeah, come do some work for me. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, you can hear me good. I'm way behind. My husband is a mechanic and was an essential worker. Yeah, because there's some, right? Like gas stations were still open, you know what I mean? So yeah, right in the beginning. So he grew up in quarantine. Those shipping containers scare me. Thank you. Oh my God, Bliss Chris, I didn't even see your comment. Yes, the shipping containers. That guy had that woman in that shipping container for over a month, had her chained, that they found her. Thank God they found her alive. Thank God. But she was in that shipping container. Have a good night, Pam. I'm just reading the Jared Padalecki. Yes. Damn it, Bliss. All right, you can have him. You're young anyway. He's too young for me. But yeah, I love me. Oof. Love that man. He has a beautiful wife too. His wife is actually the girl that played Ruby on Supernatural with him. That played the demon Ruby. That's his wife in real life. So yeah, he married her. He met her on the show of Supernatural and married her. So I think that's pretty cool. Premature babies too. Wow. Firstborn at 27 and a half weeks. No illness. He's incredible. God bless him. God bless him, Kat. I think that's beautiful. Okay. I'm sorry, Pam. I'll ask JJ. I haven't spoken to her today. But I'm going to get off now because I do want to speak to JJ. I haven't spoken to my girls. Maybe we could go into voice for a little while. Had an eventful day. So did Bliss Chris. You know, that near miss. So I do want to talk to my girls for a little bit. I had a scary day today. Everything worked out, guys. Everything is better. But I do, want to talk to my girls. Yes, I am. I'm going to move right on JJ's property. Yup. And get a little tiny house. I'll be good with that. I swear. I'm a simple woman. As long as I have space for my makeup, I'm good. That's all I need is space for my makeup. That's what I have the most of. I don't even have a lot of clothes. I'm not a materialistic person. Makeup is my joy. Makeup is my happy place. So as long as I have place for my makeup, clothing, as you know, I wash my clothes. I'm not a materialistic person. Now, I like my Jordans. I like my sneakers, yes. But I'm not a materialistic person. I don't need expensive clothing, lots and lots and lots. I used to have a lot of clothing. But since I moved from Brooklyn, I left like 90% of my clothes. I left 90%. I took one coat, my leather jacket. That was it. You know, I swear I took my flight jacket, my leather jacket, and my coat. I left all my coats. I had name brand, everything. I left everything. So I can downsize. I really can. Yes. Yep. By Jim Jarmusch. I don't know who that is. Bill Murray, Iggy Pop, Tom Waits, Selena Gomez, Chloe Sevigny. I hope I said that right. Danny Glover, Tilda Swinton, zombie movie. Oh, I might have seen that. I think. I don't know, but I'm gonna find it. Yep. He's amazing in what we went through to get him to 40 weeks outside the womb in hospital. She breastfed, so she was very strained. Oh, that's amazing, right? I'm so glad that he's okay. I'm gonna look for it, Christina. I promise you. Yes, and he killed the girl's boyfriend. Yes, he shot him. JJ knows exactly what I'm talking about. Shot him, and he had gotten this other couple to come and work on his property, and he had harmed them, and then had her and her boyfriend come and shot her boyfriend and kept her as a sex slave. And her smarts kept her alive. You know, that she was able to talk to him and get him to see her as a person. And he would even let her come inside and take a shower and stuff, and thought that maybe she would be his girlfriend. She started making him think that she was his girlfriend. You know, she survived it because of her smarts. So that's a great thing. Oh, yeah, 27 and a half weeks is terrifying. God bless that baby. Yeah. That girl is a warrior. Bendito, when they found her, remember? Oh my God, it's horrifying. But I thank you guys again for being here. Listen, guys, we are, everybody that comes here that enjoys this channel, and as much as I enjoy you guys being here, we are going to stay focused, okay? We're not going to dwell on the negativity. We're not going to dwell on the hate. I know it's easier said than done, guys. We're going to just, you know, we're not going to look down. We're not going to look. Bliss, that was the best thing Bliss did, was put me onto that song by Tom McDonald, and it is an amazing song. You know, I don't even see you because I don't look down. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. We will be back Friday. You know, I'll think of something. Hopefully JJ will come up if she's up to it. You know, JJ's been through a lot this last week. Anybody on Twitter knows. If you haven't, go check out JJ's community tab and you will see. But we love you guys. We thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you, si Dios quiere, God willing, on Friday, right? Nos vemos el viernes, si Dios quiere, always God willing. And I love you guys. And Bliss, Chris, and Steven, thank you so much for coming up. You guys are welcome anytime you want. And I will see you guys Friday, and then we have our Sunday, and then we have our Monday shit talking session. Love you all, and I hope you have a good night, guys. I love you all so much. Yes, please like the video. I always don't say that, and people probably get annoyed at that, but please like the video. It just helps my ego. They hate me. At least, you know, let me see few people don't hate me. Makes my ego feel a little better. I love you guys so much. Bye, Audie, my beautiful Audie. Oh my God, Forever Young. I love you too, Mama. I love you too so much. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Te quiero mucho. And I will see you guys Friday. Love you guys so much. Forever Young, if you speak to Camden, tell her I love her and I miss her. Okay? I love you guys. Have a good night. Nos vemos, mi amores.